Morning. Just situating my computer windows. I've been talking about what it means to live a Christian life. What are the different aspects of living a Christian life? And I try to do that in the context of things that are potentially happening in the world, but not dwelling on them specifically. So one thing that occurred to me that I was reminded of is that imitation, we hear, imitation is the best form of flattery. We try to emulate our heroes and be like our idols. But the question that we have to ask ourselves is, who are we imitating? Another related saying, we are what we consume. If we consume harsh music, angry music, yes, it gives us an outlet for our frustrations and angers, but it also cultivates anger within us. If we consume classic literature or poetry, we would tend to use more flowery language in our speech. So what is it that we are consuming? If we surround ourselves with angry people, we'll be quicker to anger. If we surround ourselves with generous people, we'll tend to be more giving. So who or what is influencing us and our behavior? We're meant for something greater. In Christian circles, we call this holiness or sainthood. Yes, every single one of us has the capacity to be an uber good person. It's in our natural makeup. It's actually one of the ways that we protect ourselves. But it's also in our natural makeup to be selfish, to be angry, and to be frustrated. And those are also self-defense mechanisms. So it's really important for us to watch out for what's influencing us, because we can go either way as we go from activity to activity in our day. If we really strive to consume good things, to consume, to receive love, to consume beauty, then we are far more prepared to bring more goodness and more beauty into the world, making our world, our corner of the world, better, one step at a time as we walk our life. So how do we do this? Well, we have to look again at the lives of people that we might look at as role models. In maybe 2 generations ago, our families, the activities that we participated in as a family almost always included going to some kind of a weekly church service where we're reminded every week of our focus on God, our focus on good, our need and our hope to root out the bad behaviors. And part of our family life was prayer in the home. And another part of our family life was doing gifts of mercy, offering service to people, working in a soup kitchen, visiting elderly people. Our moms did a lot of things for us that created examples of behavior that is something to strive for. But in these last 2 generations, our focus of the family seems to have changed to one of over busyness, overactivity, striving for dual income, striving for keeping our children in activities constantly so that they're not getting into trouble. In that situation, when do we have time to think about what it is that we're consuming? When do we have time to recognize what it is that we're consuming, or who we're modeling our behavior after? And yet, do we even have control over what we consume? We are so exposed to unsolicited content. It used to be the commercials on TV, or it used to be what we were exposed to in the school environment because we're there so long during the day. But now, mostly it's through social media and through the media itself, a lesser to a degree, movies and TV, but even still there. In Christian circles, people make an effort to give up social media for 6 weeks before Easter. There's a reason for that, and it's a huge clue to us. Somehow we know that this overexposure is bad. The overexposure to the victimhood, my rights, my definition of true. We're being fed an agenda, and do we even realize it? So then maybe we need to think about getting a little bit more extreme about how we close ourselves off from at least some of that influence. Back in the days before TV, before in-home entertainment, the family used to sit around, and one of them in the family would read to the others. Well, what did they consume? There really wasn't an overabundance of printed material. Well, they read the stories of the saints. They read about the adventures and the courage and the tragedies, because these people did not compromise on their faith. Real, actual sainthood was something that our youth strived for, because those are the stories that they grew up with. What stories are we growing up with today? One of the ways that we help ourselves to separate ourselves from this overexposure is by separating ourselves from the world physically. You go without your cell phone and sit on the beach, or sit in the sunshine, or sit in the quiet of a church space, and let ourselves be separated from that overexposure for a short period of time. When was the last time you even thought what it might take to become a saint? I think a lot of times we just dismiss that. There are certain people who are designed to be saints, and that's great for them, but it's not for us. But it is. As I said, we're meant for something bigger. We're meant to bring goodness into the world. So that's the example that we need to look for. We need to purposefully expose ourselves to those kinds of examples, those kinds of role models, so that we can begin to see that being good and being happy and joyful and being appreciative of life is something that we can grab a hold of. We don't have to live angry lives. And when we live in that joy of faith and of joy and of confidence that not everything is going to hell, then we can bring all of that to bear in our life and in the lives of those around us. Be blessed today and be happy.